Can Apple tap new customers to boost its bottom line? Tech spending has fallen due to sluggish consumer demand, but despite a cloudy economic climate, Apple earnings have remained resilient.
We set an all-time record for services and a March quarter record for iPhone.
What segments are boosting Apple's bottom line? And how will emerging markets like India play into the tech giant's growth strategy?
That's going to be a big market for iPhone sales.
Apple headlined a better-than-feared earnings season for big tech. Though the company saw sales slip for a second straight quarter, iPhone sales grew in a tough global economy.
It was definitely a good quarter for Apple, and the market is responding positively.
That's IBD tech reporter Patrick Seitz. He says Apple's iPhone beat has Wall Street feeling bullish about the launch of the iPhone 15 this fall.
The thinking is that it's a mature market and that there aren't a lot of new smartphone users. So they've got to keep coming out with products that people want to upgrade their phones for, like better cameras, better battery life, that sort of thing.
Apple's services also continue to grow at a consistent clip. The company reported 975 million paid subscribers for apps like Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, and iCloud in the second quarter of 2023. That number is nearly double the amount of paid subscriptions the company had just 3 years ago. Executives highlighted Apple Card, Apple Pay, and cloud services as major growth drivers. And with roughly 1 billion iPhones in circulation worldwide, Apple is laser-focused on expanding consumers' utilization of those services.
And that's one of the reasons they focus so much on services, because they can sell into that installed base.
Apple also saw earnings momentum in emerging markets. The company set quarterly records in countries like Mexico, Brazil, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia. And though iPhone sales in China are decelerating, demand in the country remains strong. The Cupertino stalwart is looking to replicate that success in another part of Asia.
India is an incredibly exciting market. It's a major focus for us, and the dynamism in the market, the vibrancy is unbelievable.
Apple opened its first physical stores in India in April. Tim Cook and company believe they can take a bite out of Android's market dominance in the country.
He thinks that that's going to be a big market for iPhone sales.
Analysts estimate that India currently makes up around 3% of Apple's total revenue, and Cook thinks there's room to grow.
What I do see in India is a lot of people entering the middle class, and I'm hopeful that we can convince some number of them to buy an iPhone.
And Apple doesn't just plan on selling iPhones in India. The country is seen as a strategic manufacturing hub that will help Apple reduce its reliance on Chinese factories. 5% of iPhone 14s are currently being made in India, with plans to bump volume up to 25% by 2025.
Once they get their foot in the door and they start selling the hardware, then they can sell the services on top of the hardware.